And of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Skol Gang 365. Beautiful day here in Viking country. JJ McCarthy. What's going on, Colin?
What's going on? How you doing?
Pretty good. Excited about how well McCarthy's doing in camp. And then today hearing about that guy that we're talking about, Levi Drake.
Yeah, I mean, for what Kwesi sometimes lacks in ability to pick higher round guys, the undrafted rookie free agents and lower round guys seem to pan out pretty well. So if you can get these guys to work out, that is awesome. And I think if you watch his on YouTube, if you watch his reaction and his family's reaction to when he got drafted, it's pretty sweet. So it's cool to see somebody that excited and being given that opportunity. And I think he's not the only one in the house right now,
Right.
with a couple other guys that I mentioned before, McLaughlin and Gabe Murphy, that are just lighting it up. And not only that, but McCarthy. I mean, I've said all along they need to play Darnold for a while, but man,
Right.
I'm watching some of these highlights. He just looks crisper, cleaner, and there's a reason why he went top 10. So very interested to see how this goes.
Right, exactly. I know a lot of people are saying that he could be starting week 1. I say don't push it.
Yeah, I'm with that too.
Into it.
Yeah, but I mean, if he steps up and he makes plays against actual other teams in the preseason, he's looking swift.
Right.
I mean, I still remember maybe about 10 years ago. I remember the Seattle Seahawks signing a guy named Matt Flynn who was a quarterback from the Packers, and they were signing him to be the guy in Seattle, and they drafted this kid in the 4th round out of Wisconsin named Russell Wilson, and he just blew everybody away. So it could be a case of that too. I mean,
Right.
I think again, what we need to focus on is the interior of the offensive line, and shoring that up to where if we are to throw McCarthy out there and he outplays Darnold, if we are to throw him out there, we want to make sure we give him the best chance to succeed by having enough protection for him, because I think that we have the talent at the skill positions to be able to make him succeed, because he creates his own stuff and he's got that it. I mean, that's one thing with McCarthy that I like a lot.
Right. Honestly,
I've got WrestleMania kind of in the background here.
Yeah, I got it too.
I'm kind of looking out the left side of my eye right now. Sorry, not WrestleMania, SummerSlam. I'm sorry.
But as long as we could shore up the offensive line, like the guard spots, and make sure there's solidarity at the center position, he should be fine.
Well, Bradbury is the key, because if his back injury is okay, then he's solid. He's playable. I mean, he's not awful. I do like the fact that it seems like Blake Randall has really stepped into his role of possibly being the left guard. Like he worked his way through the whole offensive line. He was a backup everywhere, and he paid his dues. He got that contract, and it seems like he's going to be the starter even over Reisner, unless Reisner somehow manages to beat out Ed Ingram at the right guard, which
I
I mean,
could see
whatever, that is it.
Reisner fucking beating out Ingram at the right guard.
Yep. I wouldn't stun me. I mean, Ed's got to figure it out. I think he was a victim of when they put him in there as a rookie. I felt like they were needing anybody, and I mean anybody,
Right.
considering how crappy the guards were before. And any kind of help would have been good. But I feel like now we're at a luxury to where I feel like we can probably just put the best player out there. So.
Yeah, and then from my standpoint with Ed Ingram, ship him out with Louis Sean and Andrew Booth and bring back Thielen.
I don't think we'd have to give all of that up to get to get Thielen. I think maybe. I mean, I don't even know if we can get rid of Booth right now. I mean, unless
All right, so Ingram.
I don't. Well, I don't know. I mean, Sean might be a reclamation project, but I mean, he's cheaper than Thielen, so who knows? Maybe Carolina would just. I think they're probably just going to cut Thielen.
Well, I mean,
but
they'd want to have Ingram anyway, because fucking Bryce Young's getting fucking tossed around like a ragdoll, so they may jump at Ingram.
Maybe. I mean, I still don't think we have enough fortification on the offensive line to be able to just dump Ingram. I mean, Ingram was a second-round pick, so he's still on that rookie contract. So for salary reasons, I think we still should hold on to Ingram, even if he's a backup. I mean, he's familiar with the offensive line. He's familiar with the guys on the offensive line. So for us to have to go out and get somebody that nobody knows or doesn't have any kind of cohesion with probably wouldn't be the best idea. But Sean and Booth. I mean, Booth right now, just because we have so many injuries and so many things have happened in the secondary, I feel like by default we have to keep him. So
his job's most likely saved because of the whole thing.
Unless they pick up Gilmore. I mean, they keep throwing like older veterans. I think part of the reason why Gilmore hasn't signed is because I think he's kind of trolling to see, what looks like a good situation for him to possibly win or be a starter. I think Gilmore would be an immediate starter in the Vikings secondary right now. I think he just doesn't want to go out and do the preseason stuff. So come closer to the end of the training camp, it wouldn't stun me if they signed Gilmore right before the beginning of the season. That wouldn't stun me at all.
It's been pissing me off lately. They keep fucking throwing out these signings like, oh, Vikings signed a corner. Oh, who is it? Some fucking scrub from Denver. Fucking Bobby McCain. Fucking safety. I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me, dude.
I think it's just camp bodies right now. I think Shelley's probably going to stick because he did have a pretty decent run with the Vikings a couple of years ago. I think Shelley will probably stick, but McCain, who knows?
I'd rather keep Shelley than fucking Booth.
Yeah, I'd rather keep McLaughlin than Booth. I mean, McLaughlin's made some plays too, so I would rather keep him. And with the salary, I mean, McLaughlin's salary is nothing. He's an undrafted rookie free agent.
Right.
So that's the key. Like Gabriel Murphy, that guy's been playing with the ones. I mean, you'll get that Levi Rodriguez, and now you got Gabe Murphy playing with the ones too. So getting those guys some experience and getting them into rotation, all that's doing is creating opportunity to fill a void left by Hunter, left by Kendricks, left by Anthony Barr. I mean, they're just trying to fill holes and do it cheap. And they've seemed to have found a few good things.
Yeah, my thing with the whole bringing in Bobby McCain, maybe I'd say they're bringing them in for extra depth at the safety position. I mean,
I don't know if we need any more depth. I don't know. I mean,
that's what
you still got Harrison Smith. You got Cam, you got Smith, you got Bynum, you got Metellus. Theo Jackson has been playing really well. I mean, how much depth is too much depth? I mean, what are they trying to? What are they trying to accomplish with this? I mean, I'm not saying they're all Pro Bowlers,
Right.
but these guys are all capable guys who could start. So I don't quite understand unless they're giving slot
I
corner
didn't.
depth. I mean, I don't know what they're trying to do,
I
but I
didn't.
mean,
I thought it was a waste of money. I mean, the signing the corners that they were bringing in for camp bodies, that made sense, but the whole safety thing, I was just like, gotta be
well, I mean, I
fucking
think
kidding me.
McCain's played corner though too. He played corner in
True.
Washington, so it's not as though he's not unfamiliar with the position. So he has an idea of what he's doing on the field. I think McCain did play in Miami when Brian Flores was there,
Yeah,
so he has familiarity
that
with
is true.
Flores too. So I mean, whatever. I mean, Flores is the guru. He's the one that knows his players. He knows what they can do. And when you don't have proven commodities around them, it's really hard to justify just going into the season with, yeah, I got this undrafted rookie free agent McGothern, and I've got he slipped through the cracks, and then I've got Andrew Booth Jr. has been pretty much a failure. I mean, it's having veteran guys who have had experience. I think you can't bring in enough of those guys, at least in camp or whatever they want to do with them. I mean, the ones that they keep signing seem to trust Flores a lot. So I've told you, and I've said this on this podcast before. Flores is the ultimate free agent that we need to lock up because
Yeah.
his defensive mind, his defensive schemes are light years better than what Dunashell
How are you
was
doing,
doing.
Yoli?
So,
We're doing pretty well.
well, hello, Miss Packer.
I'm excited with Jalen Naylor. He's been showing out in camp.
Finally, finally, finally. I said this 2-3 years ago when he played in that game against Chicago in Chicago. I'm like, they're finally giving. I mean, I think last year he was banged up most of the year. And I do like Brandon Powell, but he's not. I mean, if we had to go into the season with him, I would have been fine with him being the 3.
Right.
But Naylor's really the guy that I'm like, this is that gem. He just hasn't been able to stay on the field, but I feel like he's that gem. That's that another Diggs like, Thielen like. I mean, this kind of diamond in the rough that's been just sitting out there. He's got some toughness to him, and he got on the field a couple of years ago, and he looked like he was pretty legitimate. And I mean, going into last season, I said no problem with him. Maybe when Osborne goes as a free agent, which he ended up doing, I had no problem with Naylor sliding into his spot. So yeah, there's no surprise for me with that. He just had to just get healthy, and I mean the quarterback situation. This is
Not
where
only
it's going to be key.
not only that, but like his connection with McCarthy's been flawless.
Can't be that. I mean, this is
Right.
your number first quarterback ever taken in the top 10 in team history. You can get that. You can get that connection right away. I mean, it's going to be so much easier and so much
Right.
more seamless when you throw Addison and Jefferson together out there with Hawkinson in a few weeks after that. So I mean, you can't go wrong with that. So
And then
getting that kind of chemistry now, it's great.
and seeing on top of that, McCarthy's connections with Jefferson, I'm just like, man, this is gonna be fun watching this.
Yeah, I have no. I mean, I've said all along I've had no issue, but with us if he beats him out. I just
Right.
don't want them to rush him. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah, I don't
And
either.
there's no reason to. He's 20, 21 years old, and I'm okay with him. Honestly, I'm okay with him taking lumps in games. If he throws a couple of picks. I mean, we're projected every sports prognosticator is picking us to finish last in the division. There's not one
Right.
legitimate. I mean, Howard was talking about how he thinks the Vikings are going to play up to whatever their projection was for the season. I still think it's TBD with the Bears. They're talking about a lot of flash. They're talking about a lot of guys. I enjoyed watching Caleb Williams not play in the Hall of Fame game because he's already a proven starter and he's going to be a Hall of Famer, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. So I mean, when has the Chicago Bears ever had a quarterback that? And they've picked
Exactly.
high. They pick high on quarterbacks. I think it's kind of ironic that Justin
Last
Fields looks like he may end up being the quarterback for Pittsburgh.
last
Funny,
relevant
funny how
last
that works.
relevant last relevant quarterback they had was World War II. Sid Luckman.
Well, Jim McMahon did win them a Super Bowl. I mean, I'm not going to take everything away from McMahon, and he played in the league for a long time. But I don't think anybody was comparing Jim McMahon to Joe Montana. So,
But I mean, Sid Luckman was the first to do it. He brought them all those World War II trophies.
yeah, well, black and white TV and everything's gone downhill since the Challenger blew up in '86. So it doesn't seem like. I mean, they've said it. They get so it's so funny that they talk like that.
They get so pissed at me because I always bring it up. I'm like, how does it feel knowing that your fucking quarterback dodged a world war to fucking play with you guys and win you a title, dude?
Well, God, can you imagine the Bears if he wouldn't have done that? I mean, really? I mean, that's like trying to ask when was the last time there was a non-Democratic Republican for president? I mean, that's probably about the time when the Bears had an all-pro quarterback. So,
right.
Was that the 1800s, something like that? I don't know, something like that.
Fucking,
not going to go political, but it's more the time length on this.
But
yeah,
I think this division is to be determined.
I think it's the most complete division up to top to bottom in the league. I mean, even if you call the Vikings the last place team, you put the Vikings perceivably as the last place team of the NFC North. You put the last place team of every other division in the NFL. I promise you, the Vikings are the best team out of all the last place teams projectively.
100%.
It's not even a question. If anything, they're better than the second to the last team in every division in the NFL. So the NFC North has definitely gotten their stuff together. I still think Detroit's the best team in the division right now. Green Bay, I mean, they had to sign Love. They had to sign him. There's no getting around that. And I think he could have an amazing year, but it's one half of one season, and I think Aaron Jones had a lot more to do with their playoff success than he did. So we'll see how this ends up playing out. But they're right now the second best team, and I think it's going to be a dogfight between the Bears and the Vikings. I mean, was the Bears defense the '86 Bears last season? I mean, there was a reason why they had 2 picks in the top 10.
Right.
And it wasn't because of success. I mean, even the game we lost to them, they didn't even score a touchdown. So what are we saying? So you throw in a bunch of free agents, like, oh yeah, this is great. Right. We got Caleb Williams, like, okay.
It's not gonna go down like that this year. It's not gonna be fucking field goals down our throat and you fucking walk out of here with the dub.
Oh,
totally different revamped defense. Fucking, they're looking at Caleb Williams like he's a Lunchable. That's how I see it.
Yeah. Stop it. Sorry, my dog is.
He's gonna be getting thrown around like a rag doll. Welcome to the NFL, bud.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what kind of swag he has. I mean, he's got talent, but it's talent against Colorado. It's talent against UCLA. It's talent against, Oklahoma State. This isn't talent against the Lions. This isn't talent against the 49ers. This is the NFL. This is the big boys. So, we'll see how it goes.
More than enough. I can't wait till Flores puts whatever he's got at him.
They got a lot now. I mean, I don't think if you're an offensive coordinator and you're playing against the Vikings, when you look at all of the pass rushers, all the kind of unique pass rushers that we have, I don't know if you can really pin down one guy that you really got to
Right.
focus on. Because you got Turner, you've got Brenner,
You
you have
can't really game
Ginkle, you
plan
have
for that.
you have Gabe Murphy. This Levi Rodriguez seems to be stepping up. I mean, Harrison Phillips can occasionally put some pressure in. Cashman can.
Harrison Smith.
Josh Metellus. I mean, you
Yep.
never know what he's coming up on the linebacker
Right.
spy blitz. I mean, you don't know where these guys are coming from. And
Ivan Pace.
frankly, I'm okay with that. Pace, yeah. I mean, you've got all these guys, and I mean, there's a lot of hats on heads. So, which ones are you going to focus on the most? So,
It's going to be hard to game plan for that.
Yeah, you got to keep. I mean, one thing I know is that they're not going to not blitz. So, you better be ready. Strap it up because you don't know who's coming, where they're coming from. So, be ready to go one way or the other.
Someone's about to be turned into a hoagie.
Yeah. Well, Caleb will have to paint his nails and figure it out. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah,
he'll have to keep the skirt in the locker room.
Keep a different shade of mauve on his pinky finger for whenever somebody starts coming out. So what is that, turquoise? No, it's not. But yeah. Looks like CM Punk. If you see CM Punk and Seth Rollins, Rollins has got the wristband on. Oh, chap. And now he knocks out the ref. Oh well. How you feeling about Will Reichard right about now?
I'm liking Riker.
I know he missed a few kicks in practice the other day, but I think in our society now, oh my God, he missed kicks and blah 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 blah. But
I'd rather him miss them in practice.
Miss him now,
right?
I don't think our coaching staff, especially this coaching staff, this isn't a Mike Zimmer coaching staff. I don't think
Zimmer would already.
And again, well, I mean, no, Zimmer will wait until the second game of the season in a big game and completely kill the guy's confidence and let the guy walk to the Raiders and become a 5-time Pro Bowl kicker. No big deal. That worked out well for Zimmer. That worked out well for Zimmer, right?
That still fucking boils my blood.
Yeah, that was definitely a head scratcher. I mean, the fact that they traded up in that draft to get the guy, and then to just give up on him after a bad game, like it didn't make any sense.
Two head coaches that we've had that pissed me off the most was Brad Childress and fucking Mike Zimmer, dude.
Too many men on the field. We're 10 yards away from going to the Super Bowl. Everybody talks about the Favre interception to throwing the ball in the field. I mean, Favre's done that before. But if you don't have too many men in the field to create a 5-yard penalty and they can't call a 2 consecutive timeouts, this is what's going to happen. So, yeah. But Zimmer just gave up on him. It was the second game of his career. Second game. And I didn't mind them bringing in Dan Bailey, because he was a proven kicker. Right. But Dallas got rid of him for a reason. So, and then he proved to be that too. So
Tillery just got injured, says Winkleman.
Great. Well, we have had a lot of injuries.
More injuries.
I don't know. Tillery was he was a bot. He was a kind of a camp body to me. I think that's one thing that Kwesi's gone after his old first-round picks. Or second high picks. I remember they went after Ross Blacklock. The guy probably played 8 snaps, and he was a second-round pick because he got dropped by Houston. Tillery was a first-round pick by the Chargers. He's bounced around a little bit, and now he's with us. I'm not, when you make moves like that, it's not like you can expect them to be, it's not like Christian Wilkins goes in and blows his ACL out, and he was their big free agent pickup. He's not on that level. So just to have a depth guy who gets banged up, I'm not totally worried about it as much. So, yeah.
Right.
Oh, my roommate has gotten home. Hang tight. I'm going to back up into my room. Hang on a second. What's up, buddy? All right, there we go. Sorry. We're getting ready for a tropical storm down here in the next day or two here, so.
And then fucking Blackman going down. Oh my god, man. That
Kyrie, Blackman, Shaq Griffin.
At the worst time.
Yeah, Shaq Griffin too. He's a little banged up. It seems like he's going to be okay, but yeah, Blackman going down. I mean, maybe this is a blessing, this guys, to get a veteran like Gilmore. And they do have a decent amount of money. I mean, I feel like next year we're going to have a lot of salary cap space, so we probably have the ability to go after. I mean, said a couple of years ago we should have made more of a move for Joe Thuney. He probably just went to the Chiefs because they were the better team, and I kind of don't blame him on that one. But I still remember that day of that draft. I was talking about Creed Humphrey and I was talking about Trey Smith. I was like, we should have been in on those guys, and Chiefs got them both. And now both of them, I mean, Humphrey's an all-pro, and Trey Smith is a very solid guard. They may have some problems at tackle, but but they've got the interior down. That's to me our one weakness on both sides of the ball is their interior offensive and defensive line. So we'll see how that goes.
We can find stable guards and bring in somebody stable on the interior defensive line. It's going to help improve this team dramatically.
Yeah, I agree. But, I mean, I would not be upset with cornerback. I would not be upset with interior defensive tackle or interior offensive line, at least at one position, even if it is for veteran depth, if they figure out what they want to do. So they've got money, spend a little bit, put the line in the water and see if you can snag somebody for the season. I still do my mock drafts though, so I'm getting ready.
Winkleman says Griffin and Tunyon injured, banged up.
Tunyon's been throwing around that whole division. Right. I don't know what we're gonna get in him. I'm not really that worried about it. I think Johnny Munn has actually played pretty well.
He's like Thanos right now with that glove on with all the jewels. Vikings are the last one.
Yeah. Well, did Tunyon play for the Lions? I don't even remember Tunyon playing with the Lions. He did? Wow.
On the practice
squad. The Lions cut him and then he went to Green Bay? Yeah. No way. Wow.
And he went from Green Bay to Chicago and then now
Chicago to Minnesota. Wow. Well, you can't say that. Well, I'll tell you what. You can't say he doesn't have familiarity with the division. So
true.
He just likes cold weather and fans who wear blocks of cheese on their head and delusional fans and
likes cold weather and beer.
It's not too shabby. Yeah, I mean, again, I hope they use Josh Oliver. I mean, Johnny Munt has been solid. I'm not upset about Johnny Munt. I mean, when you've got that kind of talent in the wide receiving core, just having just a solid guy who can catch the ball and block at tight end for now until Hockenson comes back, I have no problem with that.
Johnny Munt, Oliver, and Tunyon, you got three tight ends.
Mm-hmm.
That can hold it down until Hockenson gets
back. Muse. I want to say they have Nick Muse still too, as far as I know, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean,
four guys.
Yeah, I mean, just throw a guy out there at this point. I mean, to me, blocking is the biggest thing because, again, if Naylor finally lives up to his potential, now you've got Naylor, Jefferson, and Addison. I mean, you've got a lot of options there, and just to have a dump down guy, whether it's C.J. Ham out of the backfield or whether it's Munt or Oliver, it's just hey, give me 5 yards.
Or you
Having
got,
somebody
or
like
you
that
got,
on a play action.
or you got Aaron Jones out of the backfield.
That's the whole point of why I want them to be able to block, because
Right.
we did not have a good running game last year. Jones is a definite proven upgrade from what we had last season. Madison just proved that he was just a rotational backup. That's all. They gave him the money, and all he proved was he was a rotational backup. Cook was the guy. No, I don't want them to go after Dalvin Cook. But yeah, Aaron Jones' health has been his only. To me, Aaron Jones' health has been his only obstacle. And I feel like the Vikings, I think they do more with the running game than the Packers do. I feel like the Packers are always committee with their backs, and I don't necessarily think that they really were all that committed to running the ball with LaFleur. And them getting Josh Jacobs, to me, that made no sense to me. Why you would pay for a guy who's had one half of one good season in his career. Literally, he has had one good half of one season in his career.
Him coming off of injury scares me for them.
Doesn't
Because
scare me for me. I'm happy for that.
fucking he goes down, and it's like you're literally
AJ Dillon.
You're literally looking at the Vikings situation from last year. AJ Dillon,
If not worse,
is like a Alexander Madison.
But again, I think this goes back to the fact that I don't think the Packers really view the running game as being all that important. But I think letting Aaron Jones go really made no sense to me,
That hurt them.
because and it's self-inflicted. It's a self-inflicted wound. Like, I've talked to a lot of Packers fans, and I still have yet to really have somebody give me a response where like, oh yeah, that was a really good move. Like, I don't know. If you watch the playoffs, 3 touchdowns against Dallas, 2 against San Francisco. Like, I don't know.
The only move they made that made sense was bringing in Xavier McKinney.
Man, they way overpaid for him though.
True.
Wow. They're paying him like he's an all-pro. That guy hasn't been a Pro Bowler yet. Like, you're paying him $60 million a year. I mean, and that's also, by the way, giving up on Darnell Savage, a guy that you took in the first round too. McKinney was a second-round pick by the Giants. This guy is a first-round. Savage is a high first-round pick. You could have had Deebo Samuel or A.J. Brown for that, but you needed Darnell Savage and Rashawn Gary in that draft. That was, yeah. And I think everybody knows how I feel about Rashawn Gary. So, and all Packers fans really love getting in debates with me about Rashawn Gary. I'm like, dude, stop. Just because Joe Buck and some of those guys just drool over this guy because he was the number one rated high school football player.
I'm not gonna lie. His rookie season, I was calling him Trash Can Gary.
Well, I mean, again, like, the people that would say, like, oh my God, Rashawn Gary is so much better than Danielle Hunter. I'm like, do you actually watch football? Like, do you watch it? Like, do you really watch it?
That's like last year, fucking Packers, being down, and Giff Wagner, Big Cheese Smalls coming out and saying he'd rather have Clifford start, and I'm like,
are you talking about Sean Clifford starting at quarterback?
Yes.
Oh my God! Oh,
he left the game at halftime.
Wow!
I was like, for him to say Sean Clifford and then leave at halftime because they were losing. So when he left, went home, and then they turned it around and won the game. And he's like, "Yeah, I was wrong about Jordan Love."
Well, that isn't the only thing
2 weeks later, he's back on the Love bandwagon. But the screenshot's still there.
Yeah. Well, when you're a man and you wear a block of cheese on your head and go to a You're a grown man and you leave the house.
You're
You wear that, you put that on your head, and you leave the house and go, yeah, this looks good. Oh, yeah, totally. A
Well, I
grown man
mean,
with a block of cheese on
you
his head.
leave the house. You leave the house wearing a diaper, and you're wearing a block of cheese, and you say Sean Clifford should be my starting quarterback. That to me is just fucking diabolical.
Yeah, well, he probably thought the same thing about Brett Hundley when we racked up Aaron Rodgers that year, too. So their backup situation isn't always the best, but I can't knock the Packers too much. 30 years, you pretty much have had three quarterbacks, and they all have been very good. So I can't really knock them. I wish we had a little bit better track record with that. But I do think we might be heading in the right direction with that now. So, but just don't rush. Don't rush it. That's all I say.
The cheesiest, funniest shit that I fucking seen this month was when fucking Hulk Hogan came out and fucking was jumping on the Lions bandwagon, fucking sitting there with Dan Campbell. I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. You guys pay for fucking Hulk Hogan to give you some fucking spotlight?
Well, you know something, brother? I think that we've got the ball inside our own 10-yard line, and we're going to win the game. Ooh, yeah, brother. Let's go for it. Let's go for it on 4th and 26. That's what we've done all year. Let's go for it. We're up by 17 points. Let's get it, brother. Yeah, Hulk Hogan. Terry Bollea is not who I'm going for advice when it comes to trying to win a football game. Stick to playing guitar at a lounge rock band in Tampa. Just stick to playing lousy guitar at a rock band in Tampa. Don't give me advice on when I'm up 17 points in the NFC Championship game on the road. I don't need your advice. You know, if you want to pick out tights for a game or pick out a really cool workout belt, then maybe I'll ask you for advice on that. But beyond that, no. Campbell hopefully learned his lesson, and I hope he's not taking any kind of lessons from Hulk Hogan when it comes to play calling in the second half of a NFC Championship game. If honestly, and I'm not even going to lie to you, honestly, if this happens again this year with the Lions and they're in that position, I might fire Campbell and just hire Ben Johnson to be the coach, and he will make the better decisions when it comes to it. So you can play with your heart so much, but hopefully he learned his lesson. I like Campbell. I hope he learned his lesson with the play calling in the second half.
I have faith he learned his lesson. I think he learned his lesson. But I just can't get over that whole fucking Hulk Hogan at the fucking press conference outside of fucking camp. Oh.
You know something, brother? You pump those steroids, when you pump those anabolic steroids and you say your prayers, maybe you'll get to the Super Bowl, brother.
He's out there wearing his Honolulu blue fucking bandana, fucking Honolulu blue fucking cutoff.
Hulk Hogan is the moosh. He's the moosh from Bronx Tale. He's the moosh of teams. So don't let it fool you. You see Hulk Hogan at a Buffalo Bills game, watch out.
Well, if I see him at a Bills game, it's probably gonna be people putting him through a fucking table.
I don't know. He's a pretty heavy. You better have some pretty big dudes. Hulk Hogan is probably pretty heavy in his old age with all those artificial hips he has now. I don't know if he'd make it through the metal detector at the airport to get up to Buffalo to begin with. Anyways, he'd have to drive the SUV up. So, you know.
Either that or he's already gonna be driving around the stadium with a fucking golf cart.
Well, maybe a snowmobile. Depends on what time of year it is up in Buffalo. Right. So yeah. But yeah, no, the Vikes have a fairly. I mean, the first 5 games, it could go either way. Like some of those games are like 50-50. I would be happy with 2 and 3. I know. I mean, if we don't, I mean, we're playing the Giants the first game, right?
Yeah.
if we don't win that game, it's going to be a long year. We
I was
can't beat that
watching.
game. We got to keep protection though, because Burns and Thibodeau are very formidable as DNs with Dexter Lawrence on the inside. So I would make sure that we have our blocking patterns down good for whoever is under center.
See, I got faith in our outside at blocking those ends, but it's the inside with Dexter Lawrence that scares me because of Bradbury.
We got to be more creative. Yeah, we got to be more creative with our play calling though when it comes to when if we still need to keep CJ Ham on the team.
Right.
We need to get a little bit more creative when we use CJ Ham. We can't just have him in on max protect. We've got to have a little bit more.
We got to
mystery with our play calling.
We got to utilize him like how the Vikings utilize Jimmy Kleinsasser. That's how I see it.
Yeah. I mean, just even if you put a chip on one of those guys, like even putting Josh Oliver in motion and doing a little cut block and snapping it as you're going, like whatever you got to do to protect that inside and help out. That's what I feel like they do. Because I do agree that I think O'Neal and Darrisaw can hold up long enough to where he can do it, but also running the ball inside, setting up a good. I don't feel like we really did a really good job at the screen game last year. I don't think Madison helped a lot because he turned the ball over almost every game start of the season. So when they started using Chandler, he may have dropped a ball or two, but at least he had some explosivity to him. So, I was kind of excited to see what they might do with Chandler. But Chandler and Jones together could be a good one too. I think the fact that Chandler may not have to be held that accountable by having Jones, who's a more proven back, in there, I think that could open up some holes for Chandler that maybe he normally wouldn't have.
And then we brought in Mo Abram from
Mo Ibrahim? Oh, I didn't know they brought him in. Perfect.
Yep.
He'll be a practice squad guy probably. They'll hold on to him for that. Him and McBride will duke it out for that practice squad running back spot. So, or maybe a special teams guy. Maybe I don't know. Maybe you can turn him into a returner. I was watching that new kickoff system yesterday during that Hall of Fame game. That's kind of an interesting little play there. I feel like that could open up some spots for guys. It's going to crack down on everybody just getting killed on kickoffs. So I actually kind of liked how that worked.
I'm going to especially like for Kenny with his fucking speed. That's going to help him a lot.
Well, it's almost more of like a very large designed run play because it's not as though the guys that are on the kickoff are running down and they've already got a 10-yard head start to the blocking guys who are running back to get ready to set up a block, and then they just get destroyed. So it's a little bit more of a fair ride. What's up?
What's up, guys?
Come on, Skol.
Oh, man, I'm late. I want to at least pop on. Hey, I want to say, Colin, your guy that you've been he's finally doing his thing. Your guy, Jalen Naylor, you've been telling me about him from the jump. You said all he had to do was stay healthy.
They said it all along. Stay healthy.
They said he's looking real nice out there. Motherfucking Brandon Powell might find himself on the bench, man.
I don't know if Powell will be on the bench, but he'll be where he's supposed to be as a fourth or fifth wide receiver,
right?
And a special teams guy. That's what they brought him in for to begin with. He wasn't designed to be the third receiver. Naylor was supposed to be that. So
that makes me feel a bit more comfortable. Nice. Let's say let's say they sit Addison down 3, 4, 5 games. That makes me feel better knowing that we got somebody that can step in, man.
Yeah, he's definitely got it. I still wouldn't be opposed to them maybe bringing in Thielen if we could trade like Scene and
I would love it.
Booth for him.
Yeah,
trade them both. Booth we got to hold on to because again our depth in the secondary is just not.
See, I'll give Carolina a 7th and Lewis Scene.
Well, I don't want to trade it. We don't have a lot of picks in this net. We only have 3 picks in the next draft. Maybe a 7th round pick 2 years from now.
Hey, screw the seventh round pick. We got all our coins in on the fucking undrafted.
Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe we can re-pick up Greg Joseph, and we could throw Greg Joseph in with Lewisine and then get Thielen back for him. Just sign him to trade him. That's all we need.
I'm trying to think.
I think
right
you're
now
muted. I think you're muted, buddy.
I'm trying to think
Oh,
who Carolina's fucking kicker is, because that actually might work.
Well, Carolina's kickers are going to see a lot of action, just like they didn't see a lot of action last year. So,
you hear me now?
Yeah.
Hear you now.
Yeah, but the guy that edge, I don't know if we got him from like the US, the CFL, or was he undrafted? The edge rusher we got, man. They said he's putting in some work too. So Quezzy might have struck again, man. If we can
UDFA, talk about Gabe Murphy.
There you go.
UDFA.
Even Darisaw said that motherfucker's bringing some shit, man. So hey, I'm telling you, if we could keep finding guys like that we're only paying fucking $300K or
Nothing.
$400K a year or some shit, whatever the hell. I'm telling you, we can get some shit popping real fast, especially with the money we about to have. That's why I'm saying. And before we end this, bro, all this McCarthy, as good as he's looking, and the shit I'm saying, I love to see it. I still don't want to start him.
From what I've been hearing, from what they're saying about McCarthy in camp, a lot of the players are saying like he's Kirk Cousins, but with the fountain of youth,
with legs too. Yeah, that's what I heard too. Yeah, they say like a younger Kirk Cousins with legs, and then that's the guy we've been looking for. Shit.
He has a winner's mentality. He has won on every level. He played high school. He went to, I think he went to IMG Academy one year down in Florida, and they won the state title down here. He won a national championship at Michigan. He only lost one game as a starting quarterback in college. He has the winner's mentality that we have lacked pretty much in the entire state of Minnesota when it comes to any sport. Although I will say Anthony Edwards did look awfully good today in that basketball game.
He's bringing our
he was
he's definitely bringing the basketball back. He definitely is.
Greg Joseph's gonna be an upgrade from fucking Eddie. So
no,
Lenny Pinheiro used to be pretty good with Chicago.
They can use him. They'll use Joseph.
I'm with you on that. I looked it up. I saw this shit. They said he's 61-3 since high school. So I lost 3 entire games since high school. That, like you said, we need him for that winner mentality. And once he gets to hanging out with JJ and some of these guys who got swag, already get confident about themselves. Man, I'm telling you, man, that shit rubs off. I'm confident about the kid. Like I said, they said, I'm glad. They said, what's your name? What he went number 3. They said Drake May. He's looking horrible. And I got a feeling.
You also looking horrible in New England. The entire team is looking horrible in New England.
Oh, so you can't really hold that against them?
In New
Not
England
really.
right now. In New England right now, fucking Joe Milton's fucking.
Joe Milton. Yeah, they're saying Joe Milton could be the guy.
He's probably gonna end up starting. But they said they got the Pets. They got the Patriots. Fucking their wide receiver core is ranked 32nd. Their running back core is ranked like 28th, and their offensive line was like 25th or some shit. So I guess you can't.
It's awful.
Like I said, man, when fucking KJ Osborne's the best you got, you ain't in the right direction. But yeah, Joe Milton, we knew he had a strong ass arm. I was looking at him that but
strong ass arm, no accuracy. Strong ass arm, no accuracy though.
We've seen that shit before.
Yeah, I've seen it with fucking RG3. He had the legs, the strong ass arm, no accuracy.
I'm just talking about shit. Even with Viking player, but hell yeah, he was one. He was decent that year before he got hurt.
Yeah, until teams figured him out, and then he got fucking killed by the Browns, and I was like,
motherfucker kept on trying to run that ball like that.
I don't think the Patriots fans should really have too much to worry about. They won a lot of Super Bowls. They were in it. You pretty much could pencil in the AC Championship game every year for 20 years straight. So.
They're set for decades, bro.
The team in that division that should be worried the most, to me, is the Buffalo Bills. Who the fuck do you got around Josh Allen?
I wouldn't sleep on the kid they took from Florida State, Keon Coleman. He was a pretty nice wide receiver for Florida State before Travis went down.
If Rodgers
I keep
stay
a
up,
close eye on him. Khalil Shakir is a nice slot wide receiver. And Dalton Kincaid, I'm telling you right now, I would probably take him as your starting tight.
Yeah, he showed himself last year, but I'm telling you right now, Darren, I got the Jets as the favorite in that division, man.
I don't know if we got muted or what's going on. Is anybody there?
You still there, Darren?
I think that's gonna come down.
If Aaron Rodgers can stay, upright,
that's gonna come down to the Jets and the Dolphins.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers can stay upright. I like the Jets as the favorite in that division right now, man. With that defense and with the shit they got going, they got a nice offensive line for him now. Shit, but Rodgers get on his DB shit. Who knows?
The Jets are still trying to figure out this whole contract thing with Hassan Riddick.
They'll get that shit done. They better make Rodgers bite the goddamn bullet.
Rodgers is going down.
That motherfucker ain't giving a penny back.
He's going down. He's going down. They still don't have a good offensive line. I'm sorry. You start Tyron Smith, who was drafted in the 1987 draft as a left tackle. I'm sorry, you're in trouble.
And for some reason, they had
he may have been a Pro Bowler 10 years ago, but people in New York like to talk a lot. That's the thing.
Don't worry. Don't worry. Rodgers will have protection soon. David Bakhtiari will be over there.
I think that motherfucker's about finished.
I think he retired.
I've heard of news.
I think Bakhtiari retired. I'm sure if he wanted to go find Bakhtiari, he might be.
He'll pull a Brett Favre.
Well, I'm sure if he went to a Milwaukee Bucks game, you could find him chugging beers on the big screen. So you might be able to find him there, and you can maybe see if I have another one. Favre can never get hurt. Favre can get hurt with the Jets.
Crazy thing about it,
Rodgers didn't even make it. Favre didn't make it. Rodgers didn't even make it out of the first series. So,
but shit, it wasn't worse than Bakhtiari. Bakhtiari, he got hurt as soon as they gave him all that goddamn money. Yep. He played ever since they gave him that big contract. He's played fucking 5 games. Motherfuckers broke back mountain. That motherfucker, it ain't that he can't play. That fat motherfucker, he can't come back, bro. When the big guys like that take injuries like that.
Who's that?
He probably doesn't want to risk it though. He probably doesn't want to risk it. You say he wasn't playing on turf.
David Bakhtiari.
Once Rodgers was gone, he didn't give a fuck, bro.
Oh.
Well, yeah, he went right down right after the Packers.
Well, Bakhtiari got hurt a couple of years in a row. So
yeah,
that feed from SummerSlam must be really knocking out our signal here.
SummerSlam jumping. Oh, that's what it is. Probably. Hell yeah, I want to definitely pop on, bro, before this shit ended, man. I'm ready for this shit to get jumping. We saw a little taste of the little Bears back up and shit.
I'm just going to be super excited for when I actually see Carthy actually starting in the game with the people that he's been playing with in camp. The actual game time situation.
He should get a pretty decent amount of fucking preseason action, man.
Oh yeah,
I would think so.
I'm with Colin. I'm saying don't rush him out there. I say
Yeah, I wouldn't overdo it at all. I give him a few drives. Give him a quarter or something. I give him the first quarter.
I was watching fucking this fucking YouTube thing. And these motherfuckers are fucking picking the Vikings to be fucking 5-12. They think that we're gonna lose out.
That's good.
Our first half of the fucking games.
I've been seeing certain different little shit, and that's good. That's exactly where we want to be. That's exactly where we want it. That's exactly where we want them to have us. They did the same shit the year we went for we went 13 games. This happened multiple years, bro. I want them to keep happening. I'm about to lay a couple bets down. I've already got a couple going, but I'm telling you. If motherfuckers, I don't see one scenario where we're winning anything less than last year. I see us as at least 2 to 3 games better. I don't give a fuck what they talking about. So I'm telling you right now, if it weren't for the fact that
with all these improvements we made this offseason,
they just don't respect Sam Darnold, bro.
Chances.
They just don't respect Sam Darnold. I'm telling you, he's a major factor in a lot of these shit you see in predictions and shit. But
we got a nice rookie quarterback, and he's been showing out. Fucking,
he's been doing this shit,
bro. Nice edge rusher. We got some nice undrafted fucking guys. We got some nice free agents out of the free agent pool. I'm excited.
Yeah. Finally got a fucking competent coach.
And we got a sniper fucking kicker out of the draft.
Sniper kicker, finally got a fucking competent coaching staff across the board. We fucking only thing. I mean, I don't know. I'm not really worried about the fucking offensive coordinator because we know that fucking KOC is calling the plays anyway. Fucking offensive coordinator, he's probably just fucking. He's there in name and shit, really. But
sounds as bad as I'm gonna fucking say it though. But fucking the OC is a fucking drunk. I remember when he got fucking arrested before fucking Addison for the fucking DUI.
What's his name?
He's Wes Phillips.
Wes Phillips, yeah. Hell, you would too. Goddamn, you know how this fucking team does. We were getting fucked over.
He's the last motherfucker on that team from the old coaching staff with Zimmer. He's the only motherfucker from that Zimmer staff still there.
No, hell no. Who Wes Phillips? No, he wasn't here when he wasn't here when. You thinking of fucking you're thinking of the one asshole that we had.
Because the players fucking vouched for that motherfucker and were like, hey, like when KLC fucking came in and when these guys came in, they were like, he's proven himself. This should be the only guy that you keep out of the fucking staff.
Oh, he might have been on the staff, bro.
Everybody got fucking shit cannon fucking tossed except him.
Yeah, he just became OC with us for the last 2 years. I don't even remember his ass was a part of the staff.
He was on the staff, but he was like lower than
like a fucking like a tight end coach or some shit like that.
Some shit like
okay,
shit like that.
Yeah, that motherfucker. I'm interested to see what Brian Flores is about to dial up. And all we got to do is we just need this motherfucker. We just need him. We just need Kevin O'Connell to turn Sam Darnold into what Case Keenum was that little year when he went on his run.
I just need Addison to stop fucking around off the field.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with it. He's saying the right shit. Talking about bouncing back. That motherfucker. We might have to draw his fucking contract up like Kyler Murray, bro. When it's time for him to get paid again, bro, we're gonna have to put some stipulations in your shit, motherfucker. We're gonna have to hire Richard Tunney to be your fucking bodyguard. First of all, we're gonna hire Tim Isaacson to be your sober drunk driver. We're gonna have to have proof that this motherfucker's studying being a safe driver. Something. I don't know what his problem is, bro. And then we're gonna tell him or at least have some training. We're gonna tell him like, bro, if you want to do certain type of shit, you got to go through my training. First things first. We're not gonna be in a $250,000 or more expensive car when we're trying to do shit. God damn it. We're gonna go get a fucking 2024 Honda Accord with some tint on that motherfucker. You can be clean without doing all that crazy shit. Yeah, he's just a young motherfucker, bro. You gotta think too with that NIL shit. He had a few million before he even got to the Vikings, bro. He had that Lamborghini truck and shit before he even signed the fucking rookie deal with the Vikings. You gotta think he obviously got some more with that shit. He's a young motherfucker. I don't know what Jefferson gonna have to pull him into his wing. You see, Jefferson don't get involved in that shit right there, bro. You see, he does. He's as big as a star he is. He don't get involved in no bullshit like that. I guess he just got that girl pregnant, but shit, $35 million a year help with that. As long as he don't become Adrian Peterson with this shit, he'll be all right. And a little Italian lady, that Italian girl is fine. Bro, look at Richard. Tony, hell yeah, Tony, you're gonna be his goddamn driver. Goddamn it, you're gonna be his driver. And as soon as you see that motherfucker reach for anything, try to drink anything, you say, "No, motherfucker, let me sip that first." I would have hired Winkleman, but that motherfucker shit. We had 2 cases. No, I'm serious though, bro. I don't know. He needs to get that shit because they're about to give him about a good 3-4 games. Watch. They got to make an example of him now, bro. They can't let it slide. But they still haven't released his alcohol level though. They still haven't even said that it was. You can tell by the way he's talking. He knows it's coming though, bro. talking about whatever happens, I'm gonna just accept it and bounce back. He knows what's up. They probably gonna give him about 4 games, bro. I wouldn't be surprised.
No, I wouldn't either.
He might try to appeal, maybe get 1 or some game back, but it ain't happening. Motherfucker
his-
probably appeal. He
his-
try to appeal that shit. He'll get more games.
His fucking fine, I know, is gonna be hefty.
I'd rather they do that. Give him a hefty fine and just give him 2-3 games. But no, I'm telling you, bro. They said they looking at 3 now, so I'm telling you, they probably gonna give him 4. Or give him 6. Give him 6.
Thanks for tuning into the show tonight. We'll catch you next Saturday.
And no one ever forget, Tim Eisen told me that JJ McCarthy was going to be a bust. I want the world to remember that. Skol.
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire Stick TV, Facebook, and YouTube. Get all your sports news here first. The daily podcasts are Ken and Ken in the Morning, Lions Talk with Smoking Jeremy B, Wrestling Roundup, The Big Football Show, and more, Shield TV, Lions Villain Report, and Red Zone Rant. The afternoon podcasts are Valhalla, Grosef Sports, WCFL Dolphins Talk, The Cheap Seats, The Bodkin Show, Spirit of Detroit Podcast, and MM-Aniacs. The nightly podcasts are Hallis Hall Report, Frozen Tundra Network, Skol Gang 365, The Huddle Sports Network Open Mic, First and 10 with Foz, Main Event Football Show, Prime Sports World, The Man Cave, Prim and Proper Sports. Spitballing Podcast, Lions Fan Cave Chat, Puckett, 313 Den Podcast, The Guys Huddle, Shots from the Sideline, Let's Talk Sports, The Michigan Truth Sports Podcast, Off the Rails, NFC Northeast, Power Hours, and Detroit Lions News. Make sure you follow, like, share, subscribe, and comment. Hope you like all the shows.